certainly didn't hurt him, Hannah, but I will say this, the juxtaposition yesterday of Malik Neighbors, hey, saying, I ran, I'm going to run again, and then you have Rome Odunze, who ran a 4.45 at the combine. I really like. I tell these guys, you have so much to be proud of. Just go compete. I had a really unusual situation in Miami where we have Brandon Albert, a good left tackle, and all of a sudden Laramie Tunsil, who's the #1 guy on our board for a weird situation, falls down. We saw that as an opportunity. We had done our homework. And all I'm saying is you just never know what's going to happen in the draft. And go run some routes. Nothing bad's going to come out of it. So, again, I don't think he hurt himself today, but I would have loved to see him run routes, maybe not run the 40.
That was one of the wilder draft days in recent memory there in Chicago.
You were the guy that drafted him, Mike T.
Wow. Mina, back to these receivers. Odunze, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors. How close is Odunze to the others?
I mean, I view them as like a 1A, 1B, 1C. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but this trio, really is that good. I mean, Harrison Jr., such an amazing route runner. Neighbors, so explosive. But Rome Odunze might actually have the highest floor of them because, Dan, he's a human first down. It is impossible for me to imagine a world in which he's not productive in the NFL because of how well-rounded and reliable is, how good his hands are. And I'll add this, he's not as explosive as Neighbors, for example. Very few humans are. But I actually think his athleticism, particularly relative to his size, is a little bit underrated, and some of the lack of production after the catch had as much to do with Washington's offense and the types of routes he ran and the way he was targeted. So I wouldn't be surprised if you actually see some upside there when he goes to the NFL.
Yeah, whoever drafts Rome Odunze essentially drafts Larry Fitzgerald or DeAndre Hopkins. That's kind of what he's going to be at the NFL level. I know in a lot of people's eyes he's going to be the third receiver. I'll tell you 3 things that he does the best in this class. Number 1, watch his eyes. Tracking a football. He tracks the football when it's up in the air better than the other 2 guys, and they're tremendous players. 2, I think his body control is off the charts. That's the Larry Fitzgerald comp. And then 3, his ball skills are DeAndre Hopkins-like. So I don't know if he's going to be the guy that, Malik Neighbors, I think, is going to just run explosively by people. And I think Marvin Harrison is going to wear people out with his routes. I don't know if Rome is going to consistently create this massive amount of separation. You're not going to have a lot of incompletions thrown his way. I mean, he is, again, the style is Larry and DeAndre.
I mean, 2 of the most reliable receivers of all time.
Yeah, and the comp for me, guys, is Terrell Owens. And when you look at the big plays that Terrell Owens had in his career, he could run away from people, but Hannah, he was so hard to tackle. Right, and what I'm saying here, I agree with Mina that the run after catch was there because of their style, but in the NFL, he is going to be hard to tackle. There's not a lot of corners or safeties that are going to be able to tackle someone that big and that fast, and that was T.O.'s game. When he got into the secondary, he was hard to tackle, and I'm telling you, that's where Rome is going to separate himself from most other receivers. He is going to be hard to tackle once he gets rolling.
Oh my gosh, Mina, who's your comp? Listen to all the names we've been throwing around.
I know. I was like, God, could I come up with an even better player? We're only reaching for the best receivers in the history of the NFL. I mean, I like all of your guys' comps a little bit. I think maybe they're a little bit lofty, but that's only because we're talking about the best to ever do it. So that's all.
There you go. I love it. Yeah, he's exciting. Yards after the catch, everything. It's the whole package. We love it. Yes, and we're just throwing names around, right? We can do that.
Yeah.
They haven't played in the NFL yet, so why not?